You are listening to the New American Media.
Live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, to be quite specific. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Unhappy Hour here on thenewamericanmedia.com. I'm your host, Brian Engelman, as I have been for the past 2 years. So thank you for sticking around. And if this is the first time you checked this out, welcome. Hello. Howdy. What's up? Well, this is the sports show told from a Cleveland Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Ohio State Buckeyes fans' perspective. The only Ohio-centric, Los Angeles-based sports show that I'm currently aware of, mind you. And so, of course, today is a bit of a bittersweet day. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm happy for that kid from Akron. Maybe I'm not. We'll get into that a little bit later. Of course, the Miami Heat have won their second NBA championship back-to-back now. Back-to-back finals MVPs and back-to-back regular season MVPs and back-to-back NBA championships for LeBron James. Playing for a team that is not wearing Cavaliers laundry. So a little bit of mixed emotions on that. I mean, whatever. I've been saying he's the best player in the league for, 7 years? 8? How long has he been in the league? He's been the best player in the league for many years. At least 5 years. Maybe 6. So yes, the Miami Heat have vanquished the San Antonio Spurs. It's a done deal. They're done. Game 7. Hey, Miami got it done. Kudos. Yeah, look, the Spurs had their chance. Spurs had their chance, whatever. It is what it is. And I think we're going to get to Zach Barris in just a second here, and we're going to kind of break down the game in a little bit. But a couple other stories I want to get to here. I just kind of want to tell you about a couple of these things. Aaron Hernandez. Are you following this story? Here's the latest. Aaron Hernandez, tight end, New England Patriots. This story just gets wackier and wackier. Massachusetts authorities are expected to execute an arrest warrant at some point for New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez for obstruction of justice in connection with a homicide investigation, sources tell ABC News. The warrant was prepared after police discovered that the security system at Hernandez's home, that's a fun thing to say, Hernandez's home, along with his cell phone, were destroyed, sources told ABC News. So his cell phone was destroyed, and his security system was destroyed. Isn't there data in the cloud? Isn't the NSA spying on it? Isn't everything doubled and tripled? Isn't everything held in triplicate to be used against you at a future time? In this Orwellian police state that we have, I digress. Hernandez returned home Friday, driven by his lawyer, Michael Fee. Police were at Hernandez's home again Thursday with another search warrant based on evidence that Hernandez destroyed his home security system. Yeah, so this story is getting wacky beyond belief. Aaron Hernandez, and I say wacky, I mean, it's not funny. I don't mean to say this is funny. Surveillance video from the North Attleboro, Massachusetts neighborhood of Hernandez shows him with Odin Lloyd and 2 other people hours before Lloyd was killed earlier this week. In addition, the Boston Globe reported that the video images appear to show Hernandez and Lloyd together on Fayston Street in Boston early Monday morning. Hernandez, 23, has been at the center of an investigation since the body of Lloyd, a 27-year-old semi-pro football player, was found shot in the back of the head Monday in an industrial park near Hernandez's home in North Attleboro. So you have a dead buddy of this guy, and then he's intentionally destroying his phone, destroying his security system, and they're just trying to figure out what's going on here. Lloyd's body was discovered in a clearing not far from the vehicle that had been rented by Hernandez. Police have ruled that Lloyd's death was a homicide. Oh, really? So he didn't shoot himself in the back of the head? Accidentally? Just an accident. Just an accident. So, the NFL's not commenting on this at this time. They're trying to figure it out. But there's more to this story. Because you go through this, and there's this other guy, Bradley. Hang on, where's his full name here? Bradley. That's not his first name. It's tucked in here somewhere. This other guy, Bradley, claims he was shot by Hernandez after the two argued upon leaving a Miami nightclub in February. Lost his eye in that. The case was deemed inactive because involving a man named Bradley. What, it's just Bradley, like Madonna? Like Cher? On February 13th, the sheriff's office determined the case to be inactive because Bradley refused to cooperate. Hernandez was not named in the report. In another development Thursday, police in Providence, Rhode Island said Hernandez was taunted in May by a man at a nightclub near the Brown University campus but walked away. The man followed Hernandez for 3 blocks and a crowd formed, held back by police while Hernandez got into his vehicle and left. Yeah. Yeah, they're Muscle Milk, who signed Hernandez to an endorsement deal, they're going to end their contract. I don't blame him for that one. Yeah, so there's a lot of weird stuff following Aaron Hernandez around. You look at the situation. A couple of months ago, somebody claims to have been shot in the head by this guy. This brings me back to a lot of things. A lot of things in life. You ponder, had that been taken care of when it was supposed to have been taken care of? Or it could have been taken care of? That being the incident a few months ago where the guy was uncooperative with the police. This other guy could be alive right now. It reminds me of the Joe Paterno situation. Had somebody reported child molestation occurring at Penn State, maybe lots and lots and lots of kids would not have been traumatized. Maybe it wouldn't have happened. I don't know. It's a very interesting story. It's breaking. It's hour by hour. The story gets a little deeper. It gets a little, who knows? By the time you hear this, he might already be in his orange overalls. But I'll tell you what, the second part of this story really makes it interesting now. This one's out of CBS Connecticut here. Will Tim Tebow be the Patriots' tight end this season? What? Could Tim Tebow be the next starting tight end for the New England Patriots with the statuses of Aaron? Actually, statuses is a lot easier to say than Hernandez is. Maybe it's exactly the same. Who knows? With the statuses of Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski, both tight ends, up in the air, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick might have no other choice but to give Tim Tebow a shot. Moving Tebow to tight end is not so far-fetched. CBSSports.com NFL insider Mike Freeman reported shortly before the Patriots signed the former Heisman-winning quarterback earlier this month that Tebow might learn a new position. Plan, I'm told, is Tebow will study a great deal at tight end, Freeman tweeted on June 10. Freeman followed up on Twitter the next day, and to reiterate what I've been told, Tebow will not be a QB only. The Patriots' tight end situation is currently murky, as Hernandez... And get this. Are you guys aware of this? And by the way, let me just say, I like Aaron Hernandez. He helped me win my fantasy football league last year. Yes, I won my fantasy football. Cue the applause. Mr. Producer, give me a rounding ovation. Yes, I vanquished my foes in my fantasy football league. But anyway, I'm a fan of Hernandez. I'm not like rooting for, I don't know. I'm just telling you the story. I don't really have a rooting interest in it. But isn't this weird? The Patriots tight end is murky, as Hernandez, who is also a former teammate with Tim Tebow at the University of Florida. Did you guys all know that? So Tim Tebow coming in, he might have a position to play because his teammate killed one person, almost killed another. Think about that. That's interesting. Could you see the NFL season progressing as Tim Tebow's meeting with Aaron Hernandez in prison? His former teammate, his buddy, he's taken his position And he's trying to counsel him through it. Come on, I can see it already. I can see the photo ops. And I root for Tim Tebow. I do. I've always rooted for him. I've never loved the guy. I've never bought his jersey and stood on a street corner cheering for him or trying to convince others that they should. I don't know. Whatever. Seems like a decent dude. Whatever. Good player. I've always kind of rooted for him. So they're former teammates with the University of Florida. So Hernandez is involved in this murder investigation, and Gronkowski's coming off of both forearm and back surgery. There's no timetable for Gronk's return after having had back surgery on Tuesday, his 4th surgical procedure this year, and he's had 3 others on his forearm. I mean, multiple outlets reported Wednesday, says this article, that Gronkowski will be placed on the physically unable to perform list for the preseason, the PUP list. So there you have it. There you have it. You got a situation now where Aaron Hernandez could be going to jail. His former teammate Tim Tebow, who's been cut and just avoided by every other team like the plague, is coming in here. I can just see it now, behind the thick glass on the telephone, talking to his buddy. Who knows, maybe even his hand pressed up against the plexiglass, trying to counsel him as Tebow becomes an all-star tight end. I mean, are you seeing the story written already? Are you seeing it in advance? I'm seeing it. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, so, I mean, Trent Richardson has had his run-ins, some sort of wacky run-in. Still trying to get some details on that. I'm going to reserve judgment until I fully figure out what happened, but some altercation in the offseason with Trent, with T-Rich. And then Josh Gordon banned 2 games already. Because he took codeine cough syrup or something stupid. And then the new Cleveland Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, being investigated by the IRS. Well, he's being investigated by a lot of people. He's being investigated with his company supposedly withholding rebates from the truckers. We'll see how this all shakes out. So I mean, it's not like the Cleveland Browns are new to the drama of interpersonal failings. I mean, hell, was it Dante Stallworth a couple years ago, wide receiver, killed somebody in his car? I mean, that, he was one of our starting wide receivers, which, number one, speaks to the lack of quality in our starting receivers at the time. But number two, I mean, you lose a guy for a year after he kills somebody. Okay. So I'm no stranger to this. And trust me, I'm no Patriots fan. Not a Patriots fan, but, we're going to have to keep an eye on this story. Will Tim Tebow be the quarterback? Are we going to get the photo op that we're all looking for and expecting? Counseling his partner in crime, no. Let's find a new phrase for that. Hopefully Tim Tebow was not lurking in the shadows. Hopefully he didn't pull the trigger. Oh, could Tim Tebow have set up Aaron Hernandez? You know how some people say that Dave Grohl and Courtney Love secretly killed Kurt Cobain in Nirvana so that they could get the limelight? Are there going to be conspiracy theories that Tim Tebow killed that guy to set up Aaron Hernandez to take his job? Am I the first one putting that out there? Maybe I just always think wacky. I always think of the wacky stories first and go, is there any way that... No, I'm not. My spidey senses are not tingling that something is wrong with this story. I mean, we want to talk about Benghazi. We want to talk about the IRS scandal, the NSA snooping scandal. We want to talk about scandal, blatant violation of our Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure. However you want to phrase it, my spidey senses get set off with things when I feel like I'm being fed a line of BS. Like, oh, Ambassador Stevens in Libya, he was killed because of a YouTube video. Come on, what? Is that really the smartest story, the most clever story, fake story you could come up with? That never seemed right. I'm just kidding about the Tebow thing. I don't legitimately feel like Tim Tebow killed that guy to frame Aaron Hernandez. But now, wouldn't that be a hell of a story? Anyhow, let's do this. I'm going to split the show up into a couple little bite-sized pieces. We're going to get to the NBA Finals. Like I said, obviously... LeBron James, back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back regular season and finals MVPs, back-to-back NBA championships in a jersey that doesn't say Cleveland on it. So, not thrilled, but Part of what I'm trying to learn how to do is let go. But in sports, like, you're supposed to hold grudges. I mean, come on, go to a Buckeye and Wolverine game. Go to a Red Sox Yankees game. Pick your rival. A Browns Steelers game. Well, although we haven't been competitive in so long, it's kind of lost a little bit of that bite. Can't wait till we go on the decade-long run and smoke them 90% of the time. So part of sports is to hold on to grudges, and the other part of it is to just have fun. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be able to ease back on my LeBron James vitriol. Just massive disappointment that he couldn't get it done in Cleveland. Massive disappointment still. I'm trying to figure out what the most disappointing sports moment for me was. Was it all those undefeated John Cooper Buckeyes teams? They could never hold up to their moment in the spotlight. And they could never win that national championship. Just tantalizingly close, and then they'd find a way to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory somehow, always. Was it the Indians, Game 7? 9th inning lead that they blew against the Marlins in 97? Oh, that was bad. That was bad. Was it Michael Jordan's shot? Was it Art Modell stealing the Browns? Was it the Ravens winning 2 Super Bowls now that they stole the team? Is it John Elway's drive? Is it Ernest Biner's fumble? I mean, like, the laundry list just goes on and on. But really, LeBron James, young up-and-coming kid from Akron, local boy makes good, and then bailing the way that he did at a time when the nation needed a hero, someone to, like, kind of stand up, and the housing market's collapsing, the Wall Street's in the dumps, people are unemployed. The nation needed a hero. They needed a Rocky figure. And I really felt like LeBron could have been that. He's still a great basketball player, but that part of his legacy is forever tainted, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, sure, anybody can be great and go form a super team, but, can you provide hope to a region, to a battered and abused middle class? You look around Ohio, look at the middle class. It's a hard-working state. Not that every other state isn't, of course, but no other state has been through the heartache of sports like the Cleveland Cavs, Indians, and Browns have been through. Nobody can even hold a candle to the amount of disappointment that Ohio sports fans have faced, especially Cleveland sports fans. But anyway, part of this experience, maybe it's to learn to let go of this stuff. And I was rooting for the Spurs. I was. And it didn't work, but I'm going to move on. And I'm going to move on right now. I'm going to tell you about this other story real quick. Joe Torre's daughter catches a falling baby. This is out of SI.com. The daughter of New York Yankees manager Joe Torre made a quick-thinking save Wednesday when she caught a baby who had tumbled off a second-floor Brooklyn apartment's fire escape, the baseball great has confirmed. Christina Torre did not respond to a request for comment. Police said a 44-year-old woman caught a 1-year-old boy who fell from a fire escape outside a Brooklyn apartment building, but did not identify the bystander. They said the baby somehow climbed out of the apartment and onto the fire escape and tumbled from above. That's when Torre caught the baby as she walked on the sidewalk below. You want to talk about right place and right time. The baby's in stable condition, police said, while the parents were charged with reckless endangerment and acting in a manner injurious? I've never really said that word before. Injurious to a child under 17. Man, all those games of catch with Dad sure paid off. I mean, come on. Daughter of a baseball legend catches falling baby randomly while walking along the sidewalk. That's awesome. I mean, seriously, I'm not the only one that thinks that's awesome, right? Well, let me know. Leave your comments. Leave your comments below. Check out all of the places that we're at. thenewamericanmedia.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. We're within striking distance of 100,000. We want to crack that 100,000 mark. YouTube.com/thenewamericanmedia. Please check that out. On top of that, Twitter is a great place to follow us as well. Our handle is @American_media_. That's @American_media_. And something we've been putting a lot more effort into lately, the Facebook page. Search The New American Media and like our page. Share it with your friends. And leave your comments. Leave your comments. Seriously. Was this awesome? Daughter of Joe Torre catches falling baby. I mean, what are the... we need a mathematician in our back pocket. Okay, and what I'm saying, I don't mean a mathematician in our pocket because we have a cell phone, and that functions as a calculator, of course. But what I'm saying is, what are the odds of someone ever walking randomly on a sidewalk and having at least the opportunity to catch a falling baby? Then, how about this? Out of all the people who walk on every sidewalks everywhere, what's the statistical possibility or probability that would ever happen? Then what are the odds it would happen to the son or daughter of one of the all-time baseball greats? Good person to maybe catch something. And then out of that, what are the chances that they actually do catch it? They do catch a child that's falling. How many times have people just swung and missed? Like, oh, whiffed on that one. That's going to roll to the wall. There's a chance for an inside-the-park home run on this one. They overplayed that. You don't get do-overs with falling babies. That's, again, not necessarily a funny story because that's really serious, but it's also seriously ridiculous. So, point being, leave your comments. We'll talk about a few other things. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. The New American Media is getting ready to do some really great things, and we're glad for every one of you folks listening out there, supporting this, sharing this, tweeting this, commenting on this. We love the comments, especially on the YouTube channel. We love it, and thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief pause. I think we're going to try to get NBA scout and lifelong Cleveland sports fan Zach Barris into the program with an NBA Finals wrap. And then we may or may not, I think we may, have a special guest coming up for our Agree to Disagree show. Not going to reveal it yet, because if it doesn't occur, no harm, no foul. We haven't technically confirmed. Today's one of those days where the schedules just bounce around nonstop. Incessant, nonstop bouncing around of schedules. We're in the middle of it. So stay tuned if you're listening live, and if you're listening after the fact, click subscribe, all that jazz. And we're going to give you a little bit more information coming up. Oh, later, I just want to tell you on Agree to Disagree, we're going to be talking about this journalist, Michael Hastings, 33-year-old, who died in a fiery car crash that residents say sounded like an explosion. The engine exploded out of the car. There's a lot of people who are questioning what this was exactly all about, and if it's even possible that story makes sense. We'll talk about a few other things, the IRS and NSA. We're not happy that people are spying on us. That's just creepy. So that's some of the stuff we're going to get into on Agree to Disagree. So stick around. My name's Brian Engelman. This is thenewamericanmedia.com. We certainly appreciate y'all. We're going to play a little bit of music in between. And we'll be right back here on the other side on the TNAM Radio Network.
You are listening to the New American Media.